Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we're doing a ninja deck profile. So I'm really excited to see you guys because this deck just got some insane support out of Photon Hypernova that takes this deck to a whole new level. I really feel like this deck is going to be a great meta contender this format, believe it. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description for every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. This is one of the best cards in the entire deck because it searches so many different cards. It has the ability to, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 ninjutsu art card from your deck to your hand. And when this card is flip face up or special summon, you can add 1 ninja monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. And it is not a once per turn, so you can actually summon this card multiple times per turn and get multiple searches, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Mitsu, the Insect Ninja. This card is absolutely crazy as a 3 in the deck that if you control a ninja card or a face down defensive monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 face down defensive monster you control, change it to face up defensive, and if you do, change this card into face down defensive, and then if the targeted monster was a ninja monster, except another copy of this card, negate that opponent's activated effect, which is a great effect to be able to use that basically you just flip one of your monsters face up and negate that monster's effect, which is just super cool. We then play 3 copies of Tobari, the Sky Ninja. This card is really good as a 3 of the deck, that this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect the turn it was special summoned or flip face up. And you can only use the following effects this card once per turn, that you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to be able to special summon 1 ninja monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. And then during your opponent's main or battle phase, quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 ninja fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, which is great for this card to be able to do. We then play 2 copies of Baku. Baku's a really good 2 in this deck. I have bumped it up to 2 from my last build because this card just helps you in the grind game. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it to your side of the field. And if this card is special summon or flip face up, you can target 1 ninja or ninjutsu art card from your graveyard or face up in your spell and trap card zone, except another copy of this card, and then return it back to the hand, which is a great effect to be able to use to get multiple uses out of your ninjutsu art cards. We then play 2 copies of the new Gravity Ninja. This card is really cool as a 2-of in this particular deck. I don't feel like you need 3 copies of it because it would break a little bit, but it's really good as a 2-of. If this card is normal or special summon or flip face up, you can target up to 2 face up monsters on the field and change them to face down defense position. And if you do, any opponent's monsters that were flipped down by this effect cannot change their battle position, which is crazy. This card is basically walking floodgate trap hole. And if a monster on the field is flipped face up, while this monster is face up on the field, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card that your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a really good effect. We then play a single copy of Kagero, the Cannon Ninja. This card is a good 1-of in the deck, but you only need a single copy of Kagero in this build, that if this card is normal summon or special summon or flip face up, you can special summon 1 ninja monster from your hand or grave in face down defense position, except another copy of this card, which is just a really good effect to get a ninja back on your side of the field. I really like this card and have considered playing it as a 2-of, but I'm in between playing 2 copies of Baku or 2 copies of Kagero in this deck. We're then playing a single copy of Green Ninja. Green Ninja is a really good 1-of in this build, and I really like Green Ninja, but I think 1 is totally fine. That if a monster is special summoned to your field, face up, except during the damage step, you can target 1 of them, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that monster to face down defense position, which is really good. This card is basically like a quick Book of Moon. And if this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field and change it to face up attack position or face down defense position, which is a really neat effect. I feel like 1 is totally fine for this deck. You could play it at 2, but I really like this card at 1. We're then playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's really good as a 3 on the deck, just to stop your opponent from touching the deck, and basically just being the best hand trap in the format. We're then playing 3 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is really good as well in this deck to basically just destroy your opponent's field and break their board. This card is really good in this deck, and it's super easy to deal with the Nibiru token in this deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda's really good as a 1-of in this deck, just to be able to search out the exact ninja you need when you need it. We then play a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion's a good 1-of in this build, but you really only need a single copy in this particular deck, because you can only play 1 Instant Fusion, but it's great in this deck because it just helps you special summon a monster to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Tenchi Kamea. Tenchi Kamea is a good 1-of, and this card is always treated as a ninjutsu art card, and when a ninja monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is just really good, especially combo with cards like Mizan that let you attack your opponent directly. And if this face-up card in its owner's field spell zone has left the field because of an opponent's card effect and is now in the graveyard or banished, you can target any number of ninja monsters with different names in your graveyard and special summon them face down defense position, which just helps you swarm the field. We then play 2 copies of the Ninjutsu Art Tool. I feel like 2 copies of this card is just really good in this deck, especially when you equip it to your copy of Mitsu, and then it has the ability the equipped monster gains 500 attack and also is treated as a ninja monster. And you can only use effect this card once per turn, that you can banish a ninja monster from your graveyard and then target 1 card on the field and destroy it. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished ninja monsters and add it back to your hand, or special summon it in face down defense position, which is a really good effect. Now, the cool thing about this card is if you equip it to your copy of Mitsu, you can actually summon out a really cool boss monster called the Ultimate Great Insect, because it will be equipped to a insect monster, which is really cool, that has 2,000 or more defense. So you can actually summon out this card, which is really, really cool. I love that card in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery. This card is basically like a double Rhoda, and it's just super cool that if your opponent controls a card, you can set up to 1 ninja monster and up to 1 ninjutsu art, spell, or trap, except another copy of this card. And these cards come from your deck and or graveyard, but one of them must come from each. And if the set card on the field is sent to the graveyard, then you can target 1 face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position, which is a pretty good effect. We then play 3 copies of Book of Moon. Book of Moon is just really good in this deck to be able to flip your ninjas face down or flip your opponent's monsters face down with this deck, which is just really, really good. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Ninjutsu Art of Duplication. Duplication is really good as a 2-of in this deck, and this card can really help you swarm the field, because you tribute a ninja monster and then special summon any number of ninja monsters from your deck and face up attack position or face down defense position with a combined levels less than or equal to the level of the attributed monster, which is just going to help you swarm the field with all sorts of ninja monsters. We then play 3 copies of Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves. Dancing Leaves is really good as a 3-of in the deck and has the ability of activating this card by targeting a ninja monster or a face down defense position monster on the field, and you tribute it. And if you do, you get to special summon 1 ninja monster from your deck, which is really good to summon out your copy of Gravity Ninja with this card's effect. And when this card leaves the field and is sent the monster to the graveyard, and you can also target 1 ninjutsu art, continue spell or trap in your spell and trap card zone and return it back to the hand, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card. We then also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good as a hand trap to go along with your copies of Ash Blossom and Nibiru in this particular deck. It just helps you shut down your opponent's board, and it's just really good at stopping your opponent's monster effects while also locking down entire columns. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Mizan the Battle Ninja. This is one of my favorite boss monsters in this entire deck. It's just such a cool ninja card. This card has the ability that it takes 2 ninja monsters with different names and it must first either be fusion summon or special summon from your X deck by tributing the above cards that you control. And your ninja monsters can attack directly, which is just super good to be able to just instantly attack directly with this card and the rest of your ninjas, which is just going to help you close out games. This card starts out at 2,500 attack points. They can attack directly, which is just really, really good. And then while you control a face-down defensive monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card with attacks. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can special summon one ninja monster from your deck in face-up or face-down defense position, and you only effect this card once per turn. We then play 3 copies of the Armor Ninja. The Armor Ninja is really good, and a card we just got out of Photon Hypernova, and it takes 2+ ninja monsters with different attributes, or different types, excuse me, to summon out this card to your side of the field. And it must first either be fusion summon or special summon from your X deck by tributing the above cards, which is really cool because you can actually tribute the face-down ninjas to be able to summon out either your copy of Armor Ninja or Mizzen, which is really, really neat. It also has the ability, if this card is special summon or flip face up, you can banish one other ninja or ninjutsu art card from your hand, graveyard, or face up field and target one card on the field and banish it, which is great to be able to use in this deck to have for spot removal. We then play a single copy of Ultimate Great Insect. This card is really, really good to be able to play in this deck. I love this card and how easy it is to summon to your side of the field, because all you basically have to do is put Mitsu on the field, equip with your copy of your ninjutsu art tool, and then tribute it to be able to summon out this card. This card has the ability that you can only special summon Ultimate Great Insect once per turn, and it must first be either fusion summon or special summon from your X deck by tributing one insect monster with 2,000 or more defense, equipped with an equip card, which your copy of Mitsu has 2,100 defense and is an insect. And it also has the ability that basically it cannot be destroyed by battle, and once per turn during the battle phase, if this card is face up in, or there's a card in the spell field spell zone, quick effect, you can destroy all monsters that your opponent controls, which is why we play the copy of our field spell in this deck, which is searchable, which is super cool. I love this card in the deck, that it's basically a Regeki during the battle phase. We then play a single copy of Blade Armor Ninja. Blade Armor Ninja is really good because it can let one of your ninjas attack twice, which is really good to combo to your copy of Mizzen to be able to attack twice with that card directly, and this card is just really good as a one-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's good in this deck, but you don't summon it all that often, but it's still really good as a one-of in this build just to help you break your opponent's boards. We then play a single copy of Unicorn. Unicorn's good to spin stuff. We then play 2 copies of the Ninja Grandmaster Saizo. Saizo is really good as a 2-of in this deck, and I really love this card as a 2-of in the build, because during your main phase, you can set a ninjutsu art spell or trap from your deck to your side of the field, and that's a once per turn effect, which is really cool. And it also has the ability, while this card points to a monster, this card cannot be targeted for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, which is a really good effect to be able to use with this card, because it's just going to help you out a lot to be able to summon out this card to your side of the field and get the exact ninjutsu art card that you need to your side of the field, which is going to help you out a lot in the long run. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix is good as a one-of to be able to pop spells and traps, just in case you need to pop a spell or trap on the field. This card basically has you covered, which is what I really love about this deck. You have so many toolbox cards in the X deck that you can basically just play. We then play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep comes in all the time in this deck and is really good for its fusion summon ability, that basically if you summon a fusion monster zone this card points to, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard, which can be your copy of Hanzo, which will get its effect to activate. We then play a single copy of Lingeribo, just in case our opponent tries to hand us an Ibly, we can out it with our copy of Lingeribo. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played ninjas before, you definitely should give this deck a try. It's super fun, and I really think that this deck is going to be a great meta contender during this format, and it's just a really good deck, especially since it has so much generic support for ninjas, and it's just really, really good. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely consider subscribing because we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Believe it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.